All right, folks, we are just a little bit late getting started on the broadcast. I apologize. Top of the second, neither team scores in the first inning. Amber Pocasset defeated Dale 5-4 in the punch-out game earlier today. And now we have three teams left. It'll be Fort Cobb Broxton at approximately 3 p.m. against either Arapaho Butler in a rematch or Amber Pocasset. This is a rematch from the Weatherford Eagle field game that ended up being an 11-1 run rule shellacking for Arapaho Butler. They put 10 runs on the scoreboard in the top of the first inning and never looked back. Very atypical game for the Panthers. Swing and a miss gets him on the strikeout. Oh, correction. 3-2 full count. I'd like to thank our coverage sponsors for today's live stream, video highlights, and game updates. Turner Welding in Amber and White Dog Hill Restaurant in Clinton, Oklahoma. Fires over to the second baseman, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Amber Pocasset will be up to bat. Bottom of the second inning coming up. You're watching PNTV.
Yes, sir. Well, that's what we can. Actually, there were 3 home runs hit while you were gone. the highlight of my days. Also, I do remember school. Against the wagon. Against the wagon. You were all just begging. Please be home.
And the RBI single for the Panthers puts them on top 1-0. Have a courtesy runner at first base for the Panthers. Second base and turns the double play. 4-6-3 for the Indians in the bottom of the second. It is now Amber Pocasset 1, Arapaho Butler 0. Indians will be coming up to bat. Top of the third inning coming up. You're watching PNTV coverage for the 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament at Hydro Eagley High School. Base runner now at second. A 5-3 ground out gone awry. Ball was thrown in the dirt. First baseman couldn't scoop it up. Steele second. In for the strike. Well, runner at now first and second for Arapaho. Not the sharpest of innings for the Panthers. They pretty much just given up two base runners. Otherwise, could have been a 3-out inning, 3 up, 3 down, and then already back down in the dugout getting ready to bat. Excuse me. Rips it out to left field. Flies out under it, 2 down. And there's the defense back again. A tale of two games. 2 days ago, a 11-1 shellacking. Pops it up to the third baseman, snags it this time. Indians strand 2 after the error and walk. We'll head to the bottom of the third inning. Score remains Amber Pocasset 1, Arapaho Butler 0. It is the next to the last final game of this year's 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament. The loser is eliminated, and the winner will play again against Fort Collins Broxton Mustangs for this championship this season. For Arapaho, could be a revenge game from last night's, or night before, I should say. It's been that long of a game. It lasted 2 days. 11-inning thriller. An error in the top of the 11th on a wild throw at third base, scored a run. And then a running error, not tagging up at second. Thought the hit out to left field was going to go past the defensive player. As a result, ended up getting tagged out at second to end the game on a double play. Arapaho Butler had multiple chances. I mean, they could have won the game before it went into extra innings, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I don't think they really had much going in the 10th inning, if I remember correctly, but the 11th, again, they had a chance and just unable to close the show, losing a heartbreaker 4-3 to Fort Collins Broxton in extra innings. Fires over to first, gets him on the ground out. Bennett Posey with the shot over to shortstop, 6-3 ground out. And it is now one down. Coming up to bat, starting pitcher who actually ended the game prior in relief for 2 innings, if I remember correctly, Mr. Briar Anglin, senior for the Panthers. An experienced squad for head coach Cheyenne Graham. A surprise winner this past spring, the Class A state baseball champions. First ever championship in history for Amber Pocasset boys athletics. And couldn't have happened to a better group of young men plus coaching staff. And Cody Wilson and Cheyenne Graham, winners of a Prep Nation All-Time Achievement Award. Absolutely thrilled a community and has an opportunity to repeat as champion in the fall. And even an opportunity to three-peat back in the spring again with the same bunch that won it for them. Arapaho Butler looking to be the new kids on the block. A talented roster that is primarily sophomores. There are some exceptions, but pretty much the vast majority of all starters on their squad from last spring's state semifinalist team. All the places in positions properly for head coach Brian Holden's squad, so looking to do some damage in the upcoming fall playoffs. It's going to say that it is a ball four, so runner on. Just double checking to make sure it wasn't a hit by pitch, but it was a ball four. This is the first year that OSSAA has created the 2A classification for fall baseball. So we will crown 3 state champions in a little over 5-6 weeks plus, give or take. Should be the first weekend in October. For baseball enthusiasts, we will be in Stewart this week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Is down to Stewart or the Asher Festival that they co-host with Dale. So we will be in Stewart, Oklahoma. Down just about 23 miles, give or take, inside of McAllister. Deep shot out to left. Oh, he falls. An opportunity now for the Panthers, runners on the corners, first and third. So everything going the way of Ampo in the rematch game. You know, who would have thunk it? First game could not have gone any better for Arapaho Butler. Scored 10 runs in the top of the first, just absolutely just decimated Amber Pocasset. One error after another, and one just hit all over the field. I mean, they were hot, hot, hot. And that's kind of the way baseball is, man. You can wallop one team one day and 2 days later lose a shutout. It's just a very unforgiving sport, very much where you have to file it in the memory bank and just move on and get back into repetition and execution. Jackson Nix, another senior for the Panthers batting. I'd like to again thank our coverage sponsor for today's live stream, video highlights, and score updates. White Dog Hill Restaurant in Clinton and Turner Welding in Ambrim. Safe at third, safe at second. Double stolen base. In effect, he got back at third instead of getting tossed out and stole second. You have to give the catcher credit on that one. It was on the money. So a major dust up at third. Amber Pocasset looking to bust open this game. If they're going to be successful, they're going to have to play 3 games in a row. Oh, he got him on that one. Safe. Bases loaded. Fielder's choice, non-single. And it works out perfectly for Amber Pocasset. They don't have to burn the out to advance the runner. Didn't get caught in the suicide squeeze. We'll have a brief call here by Coach Graham. First, I thought he might be signaling that he needed somebody to come in and substitute run. Base runner looks like he might have taken the wind out of himself when he slid back into the base. Otherwise, just a hitting instruction from Mr. Nix. In for an RBI single, going to hold him up 2-0 lead. Bases will now remain loaded for Amber Pocasset here in the bottom of the third. Winner will move on to play Fort Cobb Broxton for the championship. Loser will be eliminated from the tournament. A game earlier today that went final, I think, at about 12:45 p.m., give or take, was Amber Pocasset 5, Dale 4. Pirates came into the top of the seventh inning needing to score 2 runs to force extra innings, and they scored 1 run. However, they hit into 2 ground outs and then a fly out, or some people call them line outs, to right field and snuffed their rally. So Amber Pocasset holds on to win that game 5-4. Infield pop up. This one's going to go to the catcher, and he snags it. So 2 down now. And the bases loaded walk scores another run. Ampo up 3-0. Well, the first matchup was all Arapaho Butler. The second one is proving now to be all Amber Pocasset. The Panthers up 3-0. Bases remain loaded. Multiple runs have come in here now in the bottom of the third and still threatening to score more. All right, pitching change here for Arapaho Butler. In large part, probably some strategery going on to conserve and send the best foot forward for a potential game 2 for Arapaho Butler, keeping in mind they will have to rally to defeat Amber Pocasset and then come back to play Fort Cobb Broxton again after losing an absolute heartbreaker of a game on Saturday evening. A game where Arapaho Butler, frankly speaking, did outplay um, Fort Cobb Broxton. They trailed the majority of the game 3-0, and then something weird happened from basically fourth, fifth inning on. I mean, they just absolutely took it to Fort Cobb, tied the game, almost won it in walk-off fashion in back-to-back sixth and seventh innings, and then again in the eighth and the ninth. Had a chance in the 11th with two runners on, and then hit into a error-induced double play. And not to throw shade, absolutely remarkable catch by the shortstop out in left field, and then heads up play. I apologize, I've got predictive texting that somehow turned on a post, and I'm trying to fight it off so that it quits trying to type everything I'm saying into the headphone. But getting back to that point, absolutely awesome catch in the dark. I mean, it was pitch dark, well past midnight, chased it down in left field, and then cut it over to Eli Willits, who took no chances. He literally ran the ball into shortstop. So, battle of the base runner from third and the shortstop in the green out in center. It's always a pleasure to see that young man play. Eli is, without a doubt, one of the best players in the state, if not the best player in the state. Just absolutely remarkable talent. I've been watching this kid start seemingly since he was in seventh grade, I think. In some spot or another on the field, he's been playing or starting. And he's wrapping it up a year early so he can go potentially play 2 seasons with his older brother Jackson at OU, play for his dad, the assistant head coach Reggie Willits, and you gotta give him credo for that. Not very often that a dad gets to coach both of his boys in high school or in league play and then gets to do it in college. Fouls it off, stay alive. 2-2 pitch count. Fouls it off yet again. And another run scores after the second walk in the inning. And it is now 4-0 Amber Pocasset. If the Panthers are to win this championship this year, they will have to earn it. They'll play 3 games in a row. The weather couldn't be much more user friendly for playing triple headers. Only 86 degrees today, overcast, wind, nice breeze, and a nice change of pace from the 9,500 degree temps we've had recently. hit by pitch, run scores 5-0 Amber Pocasset. Well, the absolute perfect scenario for AMPO would be a run rule victory to gain revenge for a run rule loss. That would also help them conserve pitch counts and have a better chance against Fort Cobb-Roxton, plus give them a break. They had to go the top seventh against Dale. Now, not saying that it's imminent here, but run rules in effect are 12 after 3, 10 after 4, 8 runs after 5, and 6 after 6. As you can see, ball goes all the way to the back dugout. Padding in the back center portion causes it to usually kind of ricochet up. Sometimes you can get almost a double bounce effect to where it one hops against the rubber, hits the netting, and it'll bounce back and makes it very pro defense friendly for the catchers. Bombs out to left field. They're going to hold them. And I believe that is now 4 consecutive or 5 consecutive loaded bases. I think it's 5 now for Amber Pocasset. They've had multiple hits, hit by pitch, and then 2 walks that have scored runs in. And it is now a open route in the process, 6-0. So the Panthers gaining some measure of revenge from a absolutely just bad performance Friday evening at Weatherford Eagle Field. I've covered Amber Pocasset for almost 10 years now, and I have not seen them play that bad, I don't think, ever. And that's including tournament play at their own field where they finished once outside of the 5th place consolation winner. They just had one of those games where the first inning could not have gone more wrong if you scripted it that way. And hard psychologically to come back from a 10-0 deficit after a top 1 inning. K-Time. Your score through 3. Amber Pocasset 6. Arapaho Butler 0. You're watching Prep Nation TV coverage of the 2024 Labor Day Tournament at Hydro Eagley High School. The Indians will be up to bat in the top of the 4th inning. They'll have their work really cut out for them if they want to get back in this game. Pitching change does pay off some dividends early for them. It's going to be hard pressed for them to really, if anything, to excel in a second game after using, in effect, 2 pitchers that basically went full game counts with pitch totals in the 11 inning game Saturday against Fort Cobb-Roxton. If you didn't watch that game, catch it live. There's no big deal. You can watch it in reverse. It really kind of drug on as we got into extra innings, but an absolute thriller of a game, and just could not brag more on how well both teams played to scratch, claw back, and change the trajectory of momentum. Just an exceptional game. I expect Arapaho Butler to be back in the state semifinals probably. I know that's saying a lot given all the loaded teams in Class A, but with certain ones pulling out to 2A now, you'd have to think that right now the favorites Class A are definitely Rattan, Okarche, Wright City, and then that 4th slot will be one that multiple teams like Arapaho Butler, Amber Pocasset, um, a few other teams I think are certainly in play for those games and matchups, but right now that would be who I would say would probably be your top 4 or 5 teams on the A bracket. I think Rattan has separated themselves. Wright City is right there with them. Okarche just a couple of wins here and there away from still even being undefeated themselves. Gets him on the ground down, one down. You can see the body language. Arapaho just not as sharp and on point as they were. Things about marathon games is sometimes they can kind of take the fight out of you. Then when you take a break and get a day off and you have to, come back again on Monday, a holiday, a day that you're out of school, sometimes it can make it a lot harder to reset. Over his head to the wall it goes. So Arapaho Butler now with a stand up double, and the crowd now coming to life for the Indians. All right, this is the best opportunity that the Arapaho Butlers had in the game to potentially score a run. However, there are two outs, and it is a 1-2 count. So no margin for error here as he takes ball two. Base runner in safe at second on the stand up double. And so far, it has been all Panthers in the rematch of a run rule game that went the other direction the last time they played. Ampo was held scoreless until the final at bat and scored, a run in the top of the fifth to temporarily stave off a run rule, make it 10-1, and then they gave up a run in the bottom of the fifth to seal the deal 11-1. One hop sit, that's going to score a run. So Arapaho Butler on the board with the RBI single, and we have a 6-1 ball game. And safe at second on the stolen base as well. And foul ball. And the strikeout. And E6, unable to hold the ball in the glove and make the throw. And the swing 2-2. This mic is picking up all of your conversations. I'm either going to have to quit recording or ask you guys to quit talking. And hits out to right field, snags it, 2 down. And 3 unassist tagged. So Arapaho, for the first time, pretty much takes care of business. And we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. The Indians will be coming up to bat. It is Ampo 6, Arapaho Butler 1. You're watching PNTV coverage of the 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament at Hydro Weekly High School. Run rules in effect for the tournament and play are 12 runs after 3, 10 after 4, 8 after 5, and then 6 after 6. So still theoretically possible for Ampo to win this early. However, right now with the pace of play going as quickly as it is, we still have plenty of time for a 7-inning game. As long as Arapaho Butler keeps it this close, they will have at least multiple opportunities to still come up to bat. And the strikeout. And the single puts the runner on. Misses the ball. Gets him on the tag out. So the Indians so close yet so far. Unable to convert the stolen base, so we will head to the bottom of the fifth inning. It'll be the Panthers coming up to bat. You're watching PNTV coverage of the 2024 Labor Day Baseball Tournament. And the strikeout. One down for the Panthers here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Indians made a pitching change. It's paid dividends. They've only given up one run since they made the switch. However, they now trail 6-1 to Amber Pocasset. Losers eliminated from the tournament. Winner will advance to meet Fort Broxton in the championship game coming up here at approximately 3 p.m. Fly out to right field, 2 down. Heading for the strike. 3-1 pitch count. And they get the out. We'll head at the top of the sixth inning. Arapaho Butler will be coming up to bat. You're watching PNTV. And flies out. And drops it in. Will fall for the single. Base runner will be on. Yeah, safe at first. and gets the strikeout. We'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Score remains Amber Pocasset 6, Arapaho Butler 1. Just goes foul. And another out. And run scores. Base runner steals second, heads to third. In safe, wild throw. And that's ball game, folks. Final score, Amber Pocasset 7, Arapaho Butler 1. It'll be the Panthers playing 3 in a row. They'll meet the Fort Cobb Broxton Mustangs for the 2024 Labor Day Championship.